We're in section 5, speaking Lashon Harah for a constructive purpose. What we're going to look at today, ladies, we've done all the positive speech we did. We did the 5 types of negative speech. What I wanted to do today is look at the 7 types, or 7 conditions, I should say, of when you're allowed to speak Lashon Harah. And actually, I'm dealing with this right now, funnily enough. I'm dealing with a case. I had to call my rabbi late last night for a conversation on this exact topic, coincidentally enough. When are you allowed to speak Lashon Harah? Because we learned that you can't speak Lashon Harah. We said all the terrible things that happen by speaking Lashon Harah, and yet there are times when you are obligated to speak Lashon Harah, where there's a chiyuv, when that means it's a mitzvah. But you have to qualify by following these 7 rules, which we're going to learn together, and we're going to have to memorize. And they come from the Sefer Chofetz Chaim in Hilchot Lashon Harah, chapter 10, 1-2. And he says that you can speak Lashon Harah letueles, which means for constructive purpose. That you can't just talk it. You've got to be very clear on these 7, and it's not so simple. Okay? Let's just give a quick example, then we'll try to apply these 7 rules to an example. Your friend is about to go into business with someone, okay? And the guy's name is Madoff. And he made off with all the money. And now, are you obligated to say something? Because he hasn't heard of this guy before, okay? This is before he was put in prison, let's say. And you know he's about to go with this guy who's got a terrible reputation and all the terrible things that he did. Are you allowed to say to him, hey, you can't go to business with him. He's a thief. He's a crook. He had a whole scam, a whole Ponzi scheme. And people will say, 1 second, that's Lashon Harah. Now you're stopping this guy doing business with him. Can you do that? You know some guy was convicted. No. Well, my friend's about to invest all his money in this guy. I have credible, we'll see, I have information, this guy, right? Maybe it's first, maybe second hand, we'll see. But this guy's a crook. Should I say something? Because if I say something, he's not going to do business with him. The guy's going to lose out on the business.
Well, he's not going to lose out because he's not a good person to do business.
Who says? How do I know?
Well, you don't need to tell him not to do
what
business.
Did he do? Right. What situation? What did he do to Shuvah?
Yeah.
Maybe he repented for his bad deal. Maybe he's a really nice guy right now. And who am I to judge him? It's not so simple.
You can just give a warning. You don't have to be like, no, like you can say maybe you might have changed.
You know, you're right, but a warning could be just as bad as saying.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to say anything bad, but let me just warn you, this guy's a crook. I'm not doing business.
But if you don't also tell him, and then he gets.
And if I don't, I'm stuck. But if I don't say anything, you're right. My inaction could end up being just as bad as saying something, because this guy got business. He'd be like, "Hey, you knew this. Why didn't you tell me? I lost millions of dollars to this guy."
It's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, right? Suddenly change. That's Rachel's like, "Whoa, that's once you read the millions, you're like done."
It's a lot of money.
For the Persians, even $10 is enough to warrant speaking. It's a big problem. It's a challenge. What do? I can't just sit and do nothing. Sitting and do nothing, that's doing something. Emily?
Can't you present the facts in a neutral fashion and not further slander his name? You can't be like, oh, he's a terrible crook. You'd be like, when he was in business with this person, he did X, so and so.
So you're saying basically stick to the facts, which we'll see actually happens one of the conditions. But I know by saying this, I'm still going to be telling the guy not to do business with him. You know? I mean, even like, I'm going to business with that guy. I mean, even that's enough nowadays. Like, whoa, well, stop right there. What do you mean by that? Oh, I don't want to tell you. You know? Not so simple. You want to get a babysitter for your kids. And someone knows this babysitter stole stuff. Hit the kids. Says, oh, you're here as a reference. It's not so simple, right? Who might have suddenly gone, well, am I right? Do I really see it? I mean, there's a lot of things over here. You know, Shidduchim, your friend's is dating someone, seriously, and this guy has a reputation of doing stuff. Who knows what? Whatever it is, not so good. Are you obligated to say? Should you say something? You know information. If it was your relationship, would you want to know? Or is it better just to stay out of it and keep quiet? I mean, these are very detailed questions. I don't think we're going to answer all these questions. This is very, very detailed stuff. But just, it's awareness you have to be aware of over here when it comes to this. So let's do these 7. Let's try to plug these 7 rules, these 7 conditions into the scenarios we just brought up. Okay, so let's start. Says the Chafetz Chaim, Adam if a person saw a person doing something wrong, either theft or deceit or any form of harm, and he knows for sure, with certainty, that no amends were made. He didn't return it and say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. He didn't say, oh, I made a mistake. If he returned it, he did teshuvah, he's gone back. But you know for sure he didn't do that. Yochol, you can, l'saper, to speak, hadavarim, l'vnei adam, these words to the person, k'dei lazor l'asher Hashem loy, right? In order to help the victim, right? And to publicize how terrible these acts were in front of the in front of the people. However, yizaher, be very careful, shelo yachasru ela shiva pratim, not to move away from these 7 pratim, these 7 deeds, the 7 conditions. Okay, and make sure that these 7 conditions are met. The eluhain, and these are them. Number 1, shirat avaze batzmo. To speak of the negative information must have witnessed the incident, and not through hearing the stuff this person did through another person. Okay? Unless he's able to verify its truthfulness. So it's got to be first-hand information. Oh, I heard he's a crook. Who'd you hear it from? My friend, who heard it from another friend, or from someone else. 3rd, 4th, 5th hand. That's not okay. If you're speaking second-hand, you'd better get absolute verification from the first-hand person. And if you're hearing it second-hand, you've got to hear it from third-hand. You've really got to verify to make sure it really, really happened. It's not enough just to say, well, my friend's uncle's aunt's dog psychiatrist heard about this individual, and therefore I'm going to say bad stuff about them. Yeah.
What if it was like you heard it from an interview on someone from TV that it happened to them?
That is not first-hand. Hearing it on an interview, on a television, that someone did something, may not be sufficient. It may be sufficient for you not to believe it, right?
Yeah.
However, protect yourself against it.
Like I'm saying with Bernie Madoff, it's so cool.
Great, very, very good. So you hear an interview and you see all these people talking about it. It could be that I'd be like, you know what? I don't know the full details. I mean, it got to a certain point where everyone spoke about it, so maybe it really became like a, right, and it was already broadcast live, so that's unusual something. But let's just say that's the circumstance. It could be that I hear something that's going around, and I'd be like, I'm not going to believe it, but anyway, I'm not going to invest with him. I'm entitled to protect myself. I'm entitled to protect myself, and therefore, although I haven't heard it firsthand, everyone's talking about it who's spoken or happened to firsthand, and they've sworn under oath that it happened. I'm like, I don't know the details, but you know what? I'm not going to invest with him. I can still act upon the information, although it didn't happen to be firsthand. Okay, you hear the difference? So a person can say, I don't believe it, it's hard for me to believe, but anyway, I'm going to protect myself from it. That you're entitled to do. Okay? So firsthand, second, third, because a lot of information we get, if you ask most people, they never heard it themselves. I heard from a friend, heard from a friend's friend, right? It went through 55, channels of Jewish people. They play Jewish geography, bounce around the world, and end up in your lap, all right? In your inbox. So this is a problem. Number 2. She is zaher ma'od, be very careful. Shelo yachlet tekef et ha'inyan b'dato legazol v'oshek or lahazik v'kiyoseh. You must calmly think over whether or not the incident actually constitutes a theft. Was it really theft? Okay. Was it actually any? So don't just jump into, it's a thief. 1 second. There's a lot of information over here. Was it really a theft? Right. Let's use another example. You see someone, I don't know, pick up an umbrella, right? Or say, this looks nice, right? And they walk away with it. This person's a thief. I've got to tell people. Are you sure? Maybe it's their umbrella. They lost it like a week ago, a month ago, right? Maybe someone left it there for them. I don't know. There's a lot of scenarios that you can go through before you start to judge this person and think that something, and start to spread the information. This guy's an umbrella thief. Thousands and thousands of possibilities. Okay, you have to look into it. You can't just suddenly hear information. Oh, that's it. I'm speaking. All right. Right. He's born and hate it. Think well. Et etzam inyan about it. Imhu al pidin b'klal gezel nezeh. Is it really damage? Is it really thievery that you see, that you heard about? Who knows? It's not so simple. You know, maybe the person was reclaiming money. Maybe no actual thievery was happening. Maybe people are bringing up charges against him. Maybe the guy's really innocent. Right? Innocent until proven guilty. Even when they're in that phase of innocent proven guilty, I can still protect myself. But before you go start talking smack about them, you've got to make sure that the information is right. Number 3. Now this is tricky, and you've got to be careful with this one. But we'll see that if you're able to make a difference, and you feel there's a possibility that what you can do can fix the situation, you must first attempt to approach the offender himself, or Lashon Raka with a nice voice, or maybe you can actually fix the situation, you can help him out, you can make it better. So you don't want to speak bad about this person. You saw a person steal something. Well, before I go spreading this guy's a thief, and she's a thief and telling everyone, maybe I can talk to them and say, you know what? Stealing umbrellas, not a good thing to do. Taking people's stuff, not such a good thing to do. Return it, say sorry, and move on. If you think there's a possibility that you speak to them to fix it, and they're going to improve their ways, and you have that kind of relationship with them, you may have to try to do it. If you think they're going to get violent with you, and it's not going to help, I wouldn't suggest it, yeah.
Remember I brought up like the roommate example, like if you know someone's really messy and you have a friend that really doesn't want to room with someone messy, that you said you can't tell that you can't tell the person. But you have 2 girls that want to they want to room together, but your friend comes to you and says, "Do you know if she's a messy person?"
So hold on, we hold that case, the messy roommate case, and let's finish these off, and let's see maybe you can do something about it. Okay? Maybe do something about it. Number 4. You cannot exaggerate. Oh my goodness! She's the biggest thief in the world! Do you know how bad she is? Do you know what she does all day? And by the way, not only is she a thief, she's also really nasty. Who says? You're trying to protect this person from having their stuff stolen. You're going to business with them. You have to exaggerate? No. Can you start adding other things they do? And by the way, such terrible fashion sense. I mean, can you start adding stuff on? The answer is no. If you're trying to help someone, you've got to deal with the fact that, by this is very common. People will feel like their message is not getting across, and they'll start adding stuff that they're not so sure about, and are not pertinent facts to this particular case. Maybe a grudge you have against them. We'll see. All these other factors are applied. So okay, number 5. Right, so you cannot exaggerate. Stick to the facts and the facts only. Number 5. Your intent must be for to'elet, for helpfulness, to make justice. The loyal and not to enjoy it. If you want to do it because really you want to see them go down, you want to see them destroyed, that's not okay. You can't basically, I hate this person, I always want to get them, now's my chance. And it's a real case. And it's Lashon Harah, which means it's true. The information you're about to spread about this person is absolutely true. But you enjoy it, that's not good. Somehow you've got to remove that enjoyment, or you get someone else to do it, or find some other way to protect that individual. Right? It can't be out of revenge. Right? It can't be out of revenge, and it can't be you enjoy it. It should be painful having to do this. It's got to be truly painful. You have to raise information. If you're enjoying it, there's a problem with you. And while you're protecting this person, you're getting a certain avera by being joyful at the downfall of your enemies, which is not okay. Number 6. If there's any way you can twist this around, you can achieve the same results, but through another way. If you're able to protect this person somehow without talking Lashon Harah, then it's best not to speak Lashon Harah. Actually, he says you're not allowed to speak Lashon Harah. In other words, if your goal is to protect this person, person's about to go into business with this guy, and you're able to get him another deal or achieve the same results without speaking the Lashon Hara, the same results, better not to speak it. Now, you can only speak Lashon Hara if the only way you can protect this person is by speaking this Lashon Hara. Oh, by the way, if you're allowed to do it, it's not Lashon Hara, it's Lashon Tov, by the way. Right? This is clear. Once you're allowed to speak, it's not Lashon Hara is forbidden. The fact you're allowed to do this means it's not Lashon Hara anymore. It's Lashon Tov. It may not be so pleasant. It may not be enjoyable, but it's still Lashon Tov. Okay? So there's another way to achieve the results. Number 7. Shelo yisoveb al yedei sipur hezek la'nidan yotzei m'kvi hadin. It must be clear the consequence the offender will suffer will not be worse than if they went to a court of law for this. Right? In other words, if you speak the Lashon Hara about this person, which is now Lashon Tov, and you tell them about this guy, right? And now what? And now this person's going to find out, and he's going to beat him to a pulp, right? Which is much worse than the consequence that would have happened, even if you went to a court of law. Then it's not okay. If you know he's going to get shot for it and killed by the words you say, he did what? I'm going to kill him. And he's actually going to kill him, then you can't do it. Okay, it has to be a measured response. It has to be a protection of the potential victim, not an opportunity to kill the potential offender. Alright? You can't know for sure this guy's going to go completely crazy. He's going to smash all this stuff, beat him up, get him kicked out of town, and all other stuff. If you know that's going to happen, you shouldn't say anything. If you know this guy's not capable, this woman's not capable of actually making a measured response, then it's not capable. Okay, let's plug in a case. Yes, Emily?
How would this fit into applying it to infidelity?
What kind of infidelity?
Like let's say a husband cheats on his wife.
That's a very, very good question, and a difficult one to answer. A difficult one to answer. In other words, if there is evidence that this is going to destroy this person and his family and all the rest of it's ongoing, then something can be done. If, however, you know a person did one thing wrong while he was away somewhere, or something like that, or she did something wrong, and you can verify that possibly it's a one-off thing, to destroy an entire family over it, it's not so simple. I don't know the answer to your question. I'm just giving you the science over here. Each case has to be investigated on its own merits. But when you start to, abuse is something else. But infidelity, it's not so simple. People make mistakes. Is it an ongoing thing? Is there potential damage? Is the damage by reporting this worse, right, than this one terrible and grievous mistake? I'm saying it's not so simple. That everyone's going to find out, what? This guy was on vacation and we saw him together with a woman, right? It wasn't his wife. Let's tell the world. Not so simple. Not so simple that you can suddenly start spreading all the information. And destroy his entire family, his job, whatever it is. Is it an ongoing thing? Is it something which is going to destroy his family anyway, and maybe there should be something of protection? That could be something very different. Again, I'm not a posek. I'm not a halakha decider. In such case, we have to go for a halakha decider, a posek, Judaism, and they get these questions all the times. Last night, I'm dealing with a case. I can't even tell you because it's too crazy. If I tell you, it'll fall down. But it's about a certain individual who did something terrible a number of times, which I heard about from a bunch of people who saw him do this thing, and saw two of them who are direct victims of this individual. Okay? And if everyone finds out about it, this guy is going to lose his job because his job is sensitive to this. He's not president of America who gets away with it, This guy has a certain position where he will lose his job and lose his family. And yet victims must be protected. And future victims have to be protected too. And something's going to be done. I promise you. And I'm working right now because it just ended up falling on my lap for various reasons I can't talk about. So I speak about it to people. I'm trying to figure out the best way to deal with this, right? Because his wife and kids aren't victims. Right? Why should their life be destroyed? It's just not so simple. Go to the press and let everyone know about it straight away. It has to be done in a delicate manner. And yet, not one more victim is acceptable. Not one more victim. This guy has to be stopped immediately, and that's what we're working on. I was up till late last night dealing with this particular case, strangely enough. Okay? Well, let's use a more tame example, however. Let's do your friend.
Yeah.
So your friend is really, really
She's
nice.
like OCD.
OCD. And then there's a possibility she's going to move into a room with someone who's really, really messy. Okay? So let's go through the 7 rules over here. Let's see if each one fits in. And you're the one who's the connecting tissue between these two people. Miss OCD and Miss I like to live in downtown Beirut. Okay, let's see what we can do over here. So number 1, do you know this firsthand? This person's really messy.
Yeah.
Firsthand, you know the information.
Yeah.
That means you've experienced the messiness yourself. Not saying you didn't hear from a friend who heard from a friend who heard from.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a given.
Yeah.
Like socks on the floor, books everywhere, complete trash everywhere.
It's all hypothetical.
Okay. Let's just go through. Let's go through because eventually it's going to become practical. Okay, that's number 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a case, let's do it as a case study. Okay. Number 2, are you sure they're messy?
Yeah.
Are you sure that what they do, maybe they just had a bad day, maybe you walked into the room one day and there was mess everywhere. So you have first-hand information and you have to actually constitute that this person really is a messy person who's going to end up being more messy. You got that too?
Yeah.
By the way, is this you, by the way, messy person? I'm just checking.
Oh my god, no. No.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm messy too.
I'm not. Yeah, no.
Number 3, you must first time. Now, are you able to approach this person, the offender,
Messy.
and say, you know what? It's time to clean up your act. It's time to be less messy.
No.
No, you. Is that what you can say? This person by nature is a messy person.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to relay this information without exaggerating? She's so messy, and by the way, she's so nasty. Right? Are you able to stick to the facts and say,
Yeah.
this person's a messy person?
Yeah.
If your friend, by the way, does live with this person, after asking your opinion,
Yeah.
will she be upset with you for not telling her?
Oh, that's a good point. No.
She won't be upset with you.
No.
Does she ask you whether this person's messy? Has she come to you, or are you just like jumping in?
Jumping in. Yeah. Right.
Not so simple.
Yeah.
Not so simple. I don't know. I don't know whether you can volunteer information.
It's not like it necessarily could be considered like saying, oh, she's messy is a bad thing. Like in this case, like some people, a lot of them are messy, so it would be just that it would be whoever matches. Like the messy goes with messy, clean goes with clean. So it's
Okay.
not
It's like a
necessarily,
shit-off.
It could be like a shidduch. Yeah, it is a shidduch, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's like a Lashon Harah. Maybe just saying she likes to spread her clothes around. Maybe she's giving with her clothes. Who knows? Maybe she likes to let everyone enjoy looking at them.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's a complete slob. Really is a... Okay, but you'll be able to actually volunteer this information without exaggerating it. Okay. Will you enjoy telling a friend this? You know what? She's so messy. Do not live with her. Oh, I'm enjoying relating this information so much.
Someone told me that actually spreading Lashon Harah, like not Lashon Harah, but like talking bad about someone releases similar endorphins than like.
Oh, it gives you a high, absolutely. Your synapses are going, yeah, you get a high from it.
Yeah.
Again, it's called juicy gossip for a reason.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
funny.
yeah, absolutely. Are you able to do that without enjoying it by just wanting to?
Wow, like and God like made it so like your body automatically enjoys it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things our bodies enjoy we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't mean the fact that bodies enjoy it that it's good for us.
That's
Our
so
souls don't enjoy it, right? Our bodies still enjoy things we shouldn't be doing. Right? Okay, so you think so? You think that you'll be able to do it for the right intention because you want to protect your friend from living with a messy?
Yeah.
Number 6. Is there any way you can achieve the same results without speaking Lashon Hara? Is there any way you can have this person live with someone else or get the same results of not putting these two people together, Miss OCD and Miss Messy, without speaking the Lashon Hara? This is a good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's what we're thinking about. Is there some other way you can do it by, I don't know, tidying the room yourself every day? I don't know. That's
Hire a
unlikely.
maid.
Hire a maid, that's right. You know what? You guys live together. Let's hire a maid for you too. I don't know. Maybe something more practical, like, you know, maybe you should live with this person. I think she'd be a great fit for you. Find an alternative as opposed to speaking bad about this person. And finally, is she going to turn around and be like, wow, she's messy? I hate messy people. I'm going to kill her.
That might be awkward.
I'd go stronger than awkward over here, Mila. I'd go with downright dangerous.
That would be good.
What are thinking
I don't
about?
have any like ISIS friends.
Yes, I'm very pleased you have
Wait,
no
if that
ISIS
were to
friends,
happen,
by the
though,
way.
would it be Rachel's fault? For not
She would have,
saying?
yeah, absolutely. She'd have
But
some
she
culpability
wouldn't
for
have
that.
known.
She is, I hear. But if she suspected strongly this person's going to kill this person by reading the information, she's held culpable as well for it.
But what if she had no idea? And
And if
she's
she's
like,
not culpable, you have no idea, you have no idea, then this wouldn't apply.
Okay.
But if you know this person likes to beat up people who are messy or destroy their life, right? Or let's make it even easier. That's unusual. But let's make it, or do you know,
Maybe they just shouldn't have a roommate.
this
at all.
person is, I don't know, did something, you know, terribly disgusting to somebody else, and this person has a problem with that, or society does, and this person's going to kill that person, and in a bet din or in a secular court of law, they won't get killed for this particular crime. It's not so simple. You just relay this information. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh my eyes popped in, so I'm sorry.
I can see it. You look well rested there. How's your Passover?
It was really nice. How was yours?
Baruch Hashem.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so it could well be. It could well be that if you know this person's going to get much distress out of it, you can stop the distress. And again, you're not judging the person. You do it and you follow these 7. Go right ahead and do it. Yeah.
Can you speak Lashon Hara about something someone produces, like let's say a novel or a work of art?
If the Lashon, let's define Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is destructive speech that's going to affect another person physically, emotionally, financially, any shape. So a person wants to buy a painting, and you want to say, "What? This guy's a terrible person, so mean, whatever it is," and stop this person actually. That's Lashon Hara. This person's lost out financially because of your Lashon Hara.
What if she means like someone wants to buy a painting
Yeah.
and they're like, that's such an ugly painting, don't buy it. But then like by saying that's so ugly and the person wanted to buy it, like
Or like a
You're
Harry
affecting-
Potter book.
you're affecting
It's
like
a-
their finances, like the artist's
It's
finances.
not so simple to ruin someone's business because you have a bad feeling about it. Who says? To you it's not so nice. Emily, that painting is so dumb. Don't buy it. And she'll be like, I don't like it anymore. I know it's common, but is that, I mean, you now ruin this person's finance. This person likes it, now they're not buying it. Because I don't know, it's not that so simple. I don't know if Jews can become film critics, wine critics, I don't know. Art critics, I don't know. I mean, it's a challenge.
This is a situation I usually deal with.
Yeah.
I'm in art class. I have to give critiques on other people's work. And I
Ah.
have to talk about it to their face. kind of
Oh my goodness.
So I would like
So
to
you're
know
in
how
art
to-
class,
Yes.
and then people make these paintings,
Yes.
and they put them up on the wall,
Yes.
and your job is to be like, look at that nose, it's disgusting. That's
My
what you
job
have to
is
do.
to give constructive criticism, but sometimes it's hard to do it in a tactful way that won't hurt the artist's feelings.
Wow, what kind of stuff do you have to say?
I have to give suggestions on how they can improve. So
Okay.
let's say if they do the nose wrong, I have to be like, oh, maybe if you try
Okay,
applying
okay,
this
okay.
technique, it'll work
So
better.
very, very good. So I don't think that's Lashon Hara. There is constructive, helping this person. They're volunteering, they're like, help me with it, tell me why it's good, you
Well,
know?
not volunteer,
You're
the
not-
teacher makes them.
Well, they're in the class. It's a known that this class is going to be a class where you're going to improve your stuff, right? If I dress up, if I come to class one day, pink shoes, right, green spotty pants, right, and a purple shirt, right, and I'd be like, so is this rabbinical attire? And you'd be like, yeah, you look fantastic. No, tell me I look like a Christmas tree. Right? I want to know the truth. You're helping someone over here. You're a doctor. So how's the surgery? Oh, it was great. No. You got to help people. If this is what they want, this is what they need, this is how they improve, how to become better. You need to work better. Spreading the information, other people don't like them, that's Lashon Harah. But telling them that this could be better if it's done this way or that way, that's a mitzvah. You're helping them become a better artist. Don't say something that's good when it's not. I want the truth. Don't offend me. Like that's good. Going around once they have a living and telling people don't buy this work, it's horrible, is something completely different. That's not constructive, that's destructive. So that'll be something very, very difficult. Okay, let's just run through because we have another 3 minutes. Let's make it 5. Causes of Lashon Harah, page 131, section 1. Why would someone speak Lashon Harah? Let's do a bunch of these. Number 1, some people are just negative. Some people are just negative individuals. That's what Rabbeinu Yonah says. Some people, like King Solomon says, fools highlight fault, and amongst upright people, one can find acceptance. This means, says the Rabbeinu Yonah of Gerona, that foolish people constantly speak out people's faults and cast aspersions upon others. So we're just like that. They're just negative. What do? Stay away from them. Stay away from such people. There's no mitzvah to hang around with them. If you're stuck, you're stuck. Okay? That's number 1. 2, arrogance. People who are Baal Gaiva, who are full of themselves, will naturally lead to you forgetting there's a God because you think you're God, basically. And you'll end up speaking negatively and talking down upon people because no one is as good as you. Okay? That is Pasuk for Devarim and the Gemara over there. And that's what Rashi speaks about. People who are arrogant, forget there's a God because they become God. They're going to forget, and they're going to end up speaking bad. That's what the Chavetz Chaim says. When one speaks Lashon Harah, one transgresses the prohibition against forgetting God. Choose their arrogance. They're full of themselves. And they forget there's a God that runs the world. And they have to correct everything. And they're the ones who have to judge other people. 3, hatred. Some people don't like other people. They hate them. And we're not allowed to hate other people baselessly. You cannot hate your other friend, your friend in your heart. What happens by doing that? You're going to speak Lashon Harah about them. If you say Lashon Harah about someone else, you're showing you hate them. Right? That's hatred. That's 4, anger. Okay? I'm just giving you the highlights, and when you study for your finals, you'll go through all the sources in more detail. People are angry, they'll speak out, they'll say things they shouldn't say. Right? I'm going to tell everyone what you did to me. Who says you can do that? Right? I can't stand you. You speak bad words. Remember, Lashon Harah there's 5 forms of it, we said, right? One on a Devarim, hurting, cursing someone out. That's Lashon Harah. Right? You're hurting them emotionally, spiritually. Right? That's a problem. So anger is one thing that we see leads to this. You want to stop speaking Lashon Harah, work on the anger. 5, jealousy. Jealousy. Right? When you're jealous of someone else, you're like, oh, why did they get that? Oh, you know what? She doesn't even look good in that. You know where she got that stuff from? She stole it. Whatever it is. You'll speak true things, not true things. Jealousy will do it. F. Talking. Says the Rambam in Mishnah Torah, in Hilchot Tuma Tzarat. Tzarat, we said, was a disease that came from Lashon Harah. And he says that's the way people are. Some people just talk, which is why one thing they used to do was used to bring a bird as a sacrifice. To remember the birds, chatter, Twitter, tweet. Too much. End up speaking Lashon Harah. You keep talking, eventually you'll talk bad about other people. Eventually you run out of things to speak about, and you'll start talking about people. Okay? So, strategy is to improve. I know we're running over here, but we only have 1 class after this for the end of the semester. So, strategy is to improve our speech. Jump forward. Okay, next section is page 135. See other people positively. Right? Everything we said negative, just do the positive. You see people negatively, try to see good in other people. Work on seeing good attributes. That's the Rabbeinu Yonah. Don't look for thoughts. Give praise. Give praise about people. Right? You want to say something bad? Say something good. Get used to doing that. Be humble. Well, how do you do that? Remember, you're not God. Right? Remember that you make mistakes like anyone else. You're not such a smart person. There's always someone smarter. Don't be so full of yourself. Love other people as you love yourself. Right? Think, would I want to speak Lashon Hara about me? I don't want to speak about them. Use yourself reflectively against those other people. Controlling anger is a big one. Right? Working your anger, we said we did a few classes on that already. Controlling anger will control that as well. One second, Emily, my dad, just finish off and we'll come to you. Don't talk so much. Work on less speech. You don't have to talk about something all the time. Uncomfortable silence is uncomfortable, but sometimes it's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Isn't Lashon Hara if you don't name the person?
If you can do it without the person, without identifying the person is protecting them, like don't go to that place because there's a person there that may hurt you, it's not Lashon Hara at all.
Let's say you want to talk about an experience that happened to you and involves specific people, but you don't want to, if you don't say them by name.
Yes, no problem. If they don't know who it is, it's not Lashon Hara. That's the best way to do it. Okay.